Thanks for joining me at our breakfast table chats. What this is about is sitting around the breakfast table to figure things out, push some ideas around, come up with some strategies. And to do that, I take a question and break it down and see what ideas we can come up with. So if you've got questions, send them in. You can do it through the comments on this video. You can go to livetrulyfree.com, links below, and send us those questions. We want to get to them. So here's today's question, and it's a good one. George, I really enjoyed your series on daily rejuvenation, but video number 23, North Star Interest, left me questioning some things. I went through the 2 previous videos on interest and downloaded your interest list from your website. As best I can tell, I'm up and to the right in the green quadrant. It says I like to work with people, and I really agree with that, but I'm a solopreneur. I work alone. I do have clients, but when we interact, it is remote and really just to check in and keep the project on track. I would love to have someone working with me because I could really use the help, and I'd simply like to work with someone. Here's my problem. I can't afford to hire anyone right now. I need more business to afford them, but to do more business, I need some help. Kind of like the old chicken and egg problem, which comes first? I don't see any way to break through this problem. Do you? I'd appreciate any ideas you might have. Well, this is a great question, and in my book, The Next Level Entrepreneur, I call these success barriers. So in part 3, I have my strategic process, and a part of that is coming up with strategies to overcome success barriers. These all lead to next steps, so they're shorter term, 6 to 12 months, and by doing multiple next steps, you reach your next level. And so the Navigator, you map all that out. So I don't know exactly where you're headed, but I hear in this that you want to be able to build a team and you want to hire some people, but you can't. So I'm going to assume that's sort of like a next level. And the strategy is, how do we hire the first person? How do we overcome this barrier? But before I get into that, let me set a little context in case you didn't watch video number 23, North Star Interest. What it's about is it's a grid, and it's based on the Birkman method, which is a personality profile. And it's the 4 personality types. The grid is interest, and these interests are in the previous 2 videos where I go through all the details of what those are. And all I encourage the viewer to do is simply just kind of figure it out for yourself. So we're not taking the Birkman method or doing anything like that. We're just kind of figuring out, and you can pretty much go, okay, I'm probably green. And in this case, and we know the characteristics of green, and one of them is he likes to work with people. Here's the thing about interest. These are things you like to do. It may not be how you operate. And on these various interest categories, you may or may not be good at that. You just have an interest in it, okay? So I want to break this into 2 pieces, 2 barriers, and let's deal with the work with people part first. So I imagine in your network of friends, you know some people who have jobs and they work in business. And they don't necessarily have to own the business. They can be an employee. That's fine. Even better might be people who are in similar kinds of work. So if you do project work, maybe they do project work, where it's a little more relatable. Here's what I suggest. Meet one-on-one at first with one of those people once a week. And here's the agenda. It's really simple. You're going to spend half the time talking about your business and getting ideas, and y'all are going to work on your business together. And then you're going to spend the other half of the time working on their business together. Now, here's the cool thing. For 100% of the time, you're working with someone. And you could do this before work, over coffee. You could do it after work, over dinner or drinks, or in the middle of work, at lunch, hour and a half maybe, and do it once a week. So regularity is going to be important. Now, if that feeds your interest enough, great. If not, add another friend. Not to that group, start a second group. So you have 2 friends you meet with every week. And you go, oh my gosh, George, that's so much time. Well, you're a solopreneur. And you have absolutely no distraction when you go to the break room or your kitchen. There's no one there to distract you or talk to you. There's no water cooler chatter. There's no copier pause. There's no someone sticking their head in your office and interrupting you going on. That's a few hours a week. Okay, so you can clearly spend a couple of hours with a couple of friends like this. Now, here's the advantage to this is that over time, you guys will really get to know each other's businesses, and and you'll really be contributing to each other in a good way. I want to get that interest met right away so you don't feel all alone. That's really important. Now, let's go for this strategy of let's grow the business enough so that you can afford someone. So make your first hire the first person for free. What? Yeah, hire the first person for free. And one way to do that is if you've got a local college, university, see if there's some college students that want to work as an intern. Best of all would be someone in your, like in the world of business or in your niche. Let's say, I don't know, you say projects, so maybe those are marketing projects. So maybe there's marketing students who would like to come help you out. Now, the deal with them would be you come do these kinds of tasks, which are going to be menial tasks that you just need to get done to leverage your time. And in exchange for that, you're going to spend a little time showing them the ropes of whatever your niche is. So if it's marketing, you're going to show them the ropes of that. So there's an exchange taking place, and they're getting value that they wouldn't get in the classroom or anywhere else. Plus, they can put you on the resume. They can claim this as a job they've done, which is really, really helpful. The problem with that is they're short term. So they're good for about a semester, maybe two, but you're going to have a break in between. So it's high turnover. So when you get into a little rhythm, you're having to get another student. And there's a little fickleness to dealing with students, right? Okay, another approach, similar but different approach, and I've done this as well, is where there's an entrepreneur needing my services. But they've got time and can help me with some of these tasks over here. So we work out an arrangement. You help me with these tasks here for 4 or 5 hours, and I'm going to give you a couple of hours of help on what you need that I can provide for you. This has got the advantage of being a little bit more long-term. It's still going to be short-term, but it has less of the interruption and hopefully a little bit more of the reliability because this is another business person. Usually these entrepreneurs are just starting out or they're in the early years of their business. That's kind of your target for that. Any combination of this will work. You can then begin to look at another option. There's lots of, and I'm sure everyone's aware of this, the virtual assistants are out there. And honestly, that may be a way, if you start thinking about it in terms of my strategy is to raise the level of my business so that I can afford someone part-time, full-time, coming in, really working with me, okay? Because that's what you're trying to get to. We want to break this chicken-egg syndrome. And what I say comes first is bring in some of these kinds of people. Even if you need a virtual assistant a little bit, you could probably spend a few dollars on that, especially if you've got an intern helping and you're just managing a lot of people at that point, but you're leveraging your time, and I'll bet you get to a level very quickly to where, okay, now I can consolidate this, bring in a part-time person, and cut out some of these other things. So these are all suggestions around the kitchen table to try to help you get to your next level and get some people working with you. So let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear that, comments, or shoot an email to us via the website, and we'll see you in the next video.